Welcome to this short lecture on the disease Panduroga. As the name implies, the term Pandutva means whitish discoloration or pallor. Among the diseases explained in Ayurveda, Pandu is one of the important one that is identified by the Varna in the patient. So we should not confuse this with Shvitra, which is a pigmentation disorder. Here, this Pandutva implies pallor. So the Pratyatma Lakshana of the disease is pallor. It is one of the important Rasa Pradoshaja Vigaras. If you go through Charaka Sutra, 28th chapter, where the diseases of Rasa Dhatu are told, Pandu or Pandutva is one among the important disorders that is caused by Rasa Pradosha. And if you go through Susro Samhita, he also implies the role of Rakta there. So there are experts who says that there are two types of Pandu. One is Rasa Pandu and the other one is Rakta Pandu. Actually, that is not correct. Pandu is basically a disease of Rasa, and Rakta Adi Dhadukshaya occurs in Pandu because there is increased Pitta, and this Pitta causes destruction or Pajana of Rakta Poshaka Amsha of Rasa Dhatu, leading to Rakta Adi Dhadukshayas. So basically, Pandu is a disease of Rasa Dhatu. So let us see the definition of Rasa Dhatu. Sorry, Pandu. Pandutvena Upalakshito Roga Panduroga. So whenever there is Pandutva in the patient, then the disease should be considered under Pandu. Then the question arises, what is the meaning of Pandutva? So there is a clarification. Pandustu Pida Bhagartha Kedagi Dhuli Sannipa. So just like the powder of the Kedagi Pushpa, it is a yellowish white color or whitish yellow. It's a mixture of white and yellow color. Pida Bhagartha Kedagi Dhuli Sannipa is Pandutva. Chakrapani says, Panduna Vakshyamana Haridadi Varnebhya Pradhanena Varnena Upalakshito Roga Panduroga. This is what I have emphasized in the introduction. So it is a Varna Upalakshita Roga. So the identification is by the Varna in the patient. And also Chakravani says Haridadi Varnebhya. So Pandu Haridra Varnan Bahuvidamstuji is told in Charaka. So it can be a color that is ranging from white and whitish yellow to yellow color. But when we come to the yellow color, then it should be considered under the concept of Kamala, which is a related disorder we will discuss later on. Susruta has emphasized Sarveshu Chedeshu hi Pandu Bhavo Yado Adigo Adha Kalu Panduroga. So when the Pandutva is more in the patient, then it should be considered under Pandu. Regarding the classification of Panduroga, mainly there are two types of classifications. If we go through Charaka and Ashtanga Hridaya, mainly it's considered as 5 types: Vadaja, Pittaja, Kavaja, Sannibadaja and Mrid Bhakshanajanya Pandu. In Susruta, he has added 2 Kamalas and 1 Halimaga to the 5. So totally it's considered as 8 types. But we have to keep in mind that out of these 8, 3 comes under Kamala and not in Pandu. So how does this Pandu manifest? This reference is from Charaka Chikitsa, 16th chapter. Dosha Pitta Pradhanastu Yasya Kupyandi Dhadushu Shaithilyam Tasya Dhadunam Gauravam Chobajayade Tado Varna Balasneha Ye Chane Api Ojaso Gunaha Vrajandi Kshayamatyartam Dosha Dushya Pradushanat. So Alparakto Alpamedasko Nissara Chidilendriya Vaivarnyam Bhajade. So the main culprit or the main dosha is Pitta. So Pandu is basically a Pitta Pradhana disease. But when we go through the reference of Ashtanga Sangraha, where there is Kapha Prakopa in Rasa Dhatu, then Pandu is told as a disease. But here we have to keep in mind that that is possible only when there is Kapha Pradhanya in Rasa leading to Gaurava and Amatva in the Rasa leading to Pandu. But that is not the case in every Pandu. Basically, Pandu is a Pitta predominant disease. So that is why Pitta Pradhana Tridosha, when this Prakopa happens in the Dhadu, especially the Rasa Dhadu, Shaidhilyam Tasya Dhadunam Gauravam Jopajayade. So there is Shidhilatva of the Dhadus. Then what happens is subsequently Varna, Bala, Sneha and other gunas of Ojas gets reduced because the Rasa Dhadu is affected and all the other Dhadus are subsequently affected. Hence the essence of all the Dhadus, that is Ojas, is in turn affected and they undergo Kshaya. Vrajandi Kshayam Atyartam Dosha Dusha Pradushanat. Next, as a result, so Alparakto, Alpamedasko, Nissaraha. So the patient undergoes Kshaya of Rasa, Medas Adidadus and becomes Nissaraha and Shidilendriyaha, leading to Vayuvarnya. This is the general Samprapti. The detailed Samprapti we will look on later on. What are the Nidanas of Pandu? What are the causative factors? Kshara, Amla, Lavanatyushna, Viruddha Asatmya Bhojanat, Nishpava Masha Pinyaga, Tilataila Nishevana, Vidagde Anne Diva Supnat, Vyayaman Maidhuna Tada, Pratikarma Rudu Vaishamyat, Veganamcha Vidharanat, Kama, Chinda, Bhaya, Krodha, Shogobhada Chetasaha. This reference is from Charaka Chikilsa, 16th chapter. He says Pitta, Kapha, or Vada Prakopaga Nidanas. And also he says about improperly conducted Panchakarma therapies, Pratikarma and Rudu Vaishamya, Vegadharana, and psychological factors like Kama, Chinda, Bhaya, Krodha, etc. obviously which will affect the Manas, and Manas is seated in Hridaya. Rasa is also seated in Hridaya, and Chinta, etc. factors are also deemed as a cause for Rasa Dushti. So this can lead to Pandu. And food items like Pitta Prakopaga food items like Shara, Amla, Atyushna, Lavana, and those factors that can cause Tridosha Dushti like Viruddha Ahara, Asadmya Bhojana, then Kapha Prakopaga Aharas like Nishpava, Masha, Pinyaga, etc. So all these things can cause Pandaroga. Vidagde Anne Diva Sopna. So whenever there is digestion going on and the person undergoes day sleep during the digestion of the food, then Vyayam or Maidhuna during digestion of the food, etc. can cause Pandaroga. We have to keep in mind that whenever the patient consumes these Nidanas once in a while, this is not going to lead into Pandaroga. But if he habituates these Nidanas, then he is going to end up in Pandaroga. The next reference is from Madhavadana. Vyayamam Amlam, Lavanani Madhyam, Mridam Divasupna Madiva Tikshnam, Nisheva Manasya Pradusha Raktam, Dosha Stojam, Panduradam Nayadi. Almost the same Nidanas. And here the Rakta is highlighted, and obviously this reference is re-quoted from Susruta Samhita. This involvement of Rakta I have already clarified in the earlier introduction part. Next is a Samprapti, and this is again from Charaka. Samudirnam yada pittam, hridaye samavasthitam, vayuna balinakshiptam, samprapya damanir dasha, prapannam kevalam deham, tung mamsandaram ashridam, pradushya kaphavadasrik, tung mamsani karoditat, pandu haridra haridan, varnan bahuvidam stuji, sa panduroga ityukta. So there is Pitta Pradhana Tridosha Dushti, and it takes seats in the Hridaya because the Rasa seat is Hridaya, so Rasa Dhatu is involved. Then this Vayu takes this through the Dasha Dhamanis, and especially when it circulates all over the body, it takes seats in the area between the Tuk and Mamsa, and obviously it vitiates Kapha, Vada, Rakta, Mamsa, Tuk, and leads to different colors like Pandu, Haridra, Haridan, Varnan, Bahuvidan Stuji. So that is Panduroga. That is a Samprapti. In Ashtanga Hridaya also, the Samprapti is entailed in the similar way. Pitta Pradhana Kubida, Yadokte Kobanir Malaha, Tatra Anilena Balina Kshiptam, Pittam Hridistidam, Dhamanir Dasha Samprapya, Vyapnuvat Sakalam Tanu, Sleshma Tuk Rakta Mamsani, Pradushyandara Masridam, Tung Mamsayostat Kurude, Toji Varnan Pradagvidan, Pandu Haridra Haridan, Pandu Tum Teshu Jadigam, Yado Ada Pandu Rityukta Saroga. In the similar way. Tena Gauravam, Dhadunam Syacha, Shaidilya, Ojasascha, Gunakshaya. This is again highlighted in Charaka as well. Tado Alparakta Medasko, Nissaraha, Syat, Sladhendriyaha. Next is the Pura Rupa. Tasya lingam bhavishyadaha hridaya spandanam rauksham sveda bhava sramastada. So there is hridaya spandana, that is palpitation, raukshya of the tuk, then sveda bhava, reduced or absent sweating, and srama, that is the patient feels fatigue. Even though he is not doing any exercise, he feels fatigue, that is srama. The same is told in Ashtahridaya as well. Pragruphamasya hridaya spandanam rukshada tvaji aruji pida mutratvam sveda bhavo alpavannida. So here alpavanni is also told. Sada is angasada. The third sloka is from Madhavadana. Tuk spodana stivana gatra sada mridbhakshana prekshana kudashodaha. So the patient will have a tendency to eat mud or any other items like rice, etc. So it's called as paika in modern. So then Akshikuda Shodha will be there. Vinmutra Pidatva and Avipaga will be there as a Pururupa. So we can see that Pandu is correlated with mainly correlated with anemia. So any disease which presents with pallor as a predominant manifestation should be considered under the spectrum of Pandu. And there are several causes of anemia. So these features can differ in different patients depending upon the pathology present in the patient. So that we will look on in the later on discussion of anemia. Next is a Samanya Lakshana of Panduroga. The Pratyatma Lakshana is Pandutva, and there are other systemic features. Mridyamane Rivange Na Dravada Hridayanaja. So there is Hridrava, then there is Anga Pida, that is Mridyamane, just like it is beaten up. So he has Anga Marda. Shunakshi Kudaha, so there is periorbital edema. Sadhana, Kobana, Stevano, Alpavak, the patient is highly irritable. Then Stevana will be there, Alpavak. Then Annadvesha, Shishiradveshi, Shirna Loma, Hadanala. So these features, this Tukkurukshada, Shishiradvesha, etc., can be correlated with that of the modern physiology. Like whenever there is anemia, the body will try to reduce the peripheral circulation and give maximum blood supply to the internal organs, so that because of the reduced peripheral circulation, the skin can become dry, and because of the less circulation, the patient will have less tolerance to cold atmosphere. So these things can be interpreted in such a way. And again, if you go through Ayurvedic physiology, we can say that Rukshada, etc., can happen in Rasakshaya. Sannasakto, Jwari, Shwasi, so there is Jwara, Shwasa, then Karnakshveda, that is tinnitus, Brahma, giddiness, and Shrama. Next is regarding how to identify the different dosha predominance in the patient. So if you look at the systemic features as well as the Varna, then you can identify which is the dosha predominance. So if there is Krishna Aruna Varna of Naka, Vind, Mutra, Netra, we have to keep in mind the basic Lakshana is Pandutva. So whenever the Acharya speaks about Krishna Aruna Varna, etc., we have to think about the tinge, color tinge, rather, or different shades of color rather than the color as such. And it is highly relative, and there can be inter or inter observer variability. It can vary between different observers, but we have to keep in mind this that these are tinge, color tinge, not color as such. So the Krishna Aruna Varna of Naga, Vit, Mutra, Netra, pain in the different parts of the body, Angamarda, Ruja, Toda, Parshva, Shiroruk, Kamba, Varcha, Shosha, Asya, Vairasya, and Shofa. So whenever a patient comes with a Pandu and has the following features, then we can identify that the patient has Vada predominant Pandu Roga. So Vadaja, Anila Tatra, Gatraruk, Toda Kambana, Krishna Ruksha Aruna Sira, Nakha Vinmutra Netrada, Shofa Anaha Asya Vairasya, Vit Shosha Parsha Murdharuk. So these are the features of Vadaja. Next, if the patient has predominant symptoms in the form of Pida, Harida, Varna of Mutra, Shagat, skin, etc., Jwara, Trishna, Murcha, Pipasa, that is thirst, Svedana, Shida Kamada, Katu, Rasa in the mouth, Amla Udgara, Vidaha, Bhinna Varcha, that is loose stool, Tama Pravesha, recurrent blackouts, then we have to consider this as the patient with the Pitta predominant Pandu. पित्तात् हरितपीताभसिरादित्वं ज्वरस्तमः त्रिड्स्वेदमूर्छा शीते च दौर्गन्ध्यं कटुवक्त्रता वर्चोभेदो अम्लगो दाहः. So these are the features of Pittaja Pandu. And if the patient has Shweda Varnada, Tandra, Chardi, Prasega, Lomaharsha, Murcha, Brahma, Shwasa, Kasa, Kaduruksha, Ushna Kamitva, Madhura Asyada, then we have to imply Kapha predominance. Kaphat Shukla Siradida, Tandra, Lavana Vaktratvam, Romaharsha, Swarakshaya, Kasas, Chardischa. So these are the features of Kaphaja Pandu. Next is Sannibhadaja, Nijayan, Mishralingo, Adi Dussaha. So in Sannibhadaja, there will be mixed features and it is Adi Dussaha, that is Kruchara Sadhya. Next is a special type of Pandu, that is Mrut Bhakshanajanya Pandu. Acharyas imply that this Pandu occurs due to increased intake of Mrut or soil or mud. So if we go through and compare the modern anemia with that of Pandu, one thing that we have to keep in mind is because of these blood investigations like HP percentage, RBC count, the present day physicians are able to identify anemia well before the patient develops typical clinical manifestations. But in the olden times, there were no such measures to identify a reduction in the RBC count or HB percentage. So the patients will be labeled as having such a disease only when there is fully manifested signs and symptoms. So here Mrutbhakshana is told as a Nidana, but as such in modern Paika is told as one of the important symptoms of anemia. The obvious explanation is that they were not able to identify it in the initial stages when the patient starts eating mud. So later on when the patient has full-fledged features of anemia, then they have classified it under Mrutbhakshanajanya Pandu. So when we learn Mrutbhakshana, we can learn that Mrutbhakshana is the Nidana for this Pandu. What happens? Let us see. Mrtigadana Shilasya Kupyatyanyatamo Malaha Kashaya Marudam Pitta Moshara Madhura Kafam. So whenever the patient has a tendency to eat mud or soil, there will be Tridosha Prakopa, and again this Dosha Prakopa depends upon what type of taste the mud has. So Kashaya will increase Maruda, then Kadurasa will increase Pitta, then Madhura will increase Kapha, then Kobed Mrud Rasadisha Rauksha Bhuktam Viruksha. Since Mrut is Ruksha, it induces Rukshata into the Anna, and also Rasadi Dhadu there will be Rukshata. Then the mud cannot be digested properly and it fills up the srodhases, causing Srodoroda. Puryatyavibhakwaiva Srodamsi Ninodadhicha. So it subsequently affects all the nutrition of the other dhadus due to the Srodoroda, ultimately ending up in Indriyanam Balam Hatva Tejo Virya Ujasi Tada. So there is a Hani of Bala, Agni Bala, then Tejas, that is Agni, then Virya, Ojas, etc. will be reduced or depleted in the patient, and Pandu happens, Pandu manifests. And the main feature is Bala Varna Agni Nashanam. And the clinical features are Shuna Ganda Akshikuda Bru. So there is swelling in the Akshikuda, Ganda Pradesha, Bru Pradesha, periorbital edema. Then Shuna, Pada, Nabi, Mehana. So there is swelling in the Pada, Nabi, and Mehana, even in the genitals. Krimi Koshto Adhisariyeda. So there will be Adhisara and there will be passage of Krimi, and also there will be features pertaining to Krimi in the Koshta. And Malam Sasra Kafanudam. There will be loose stools mixed with blood and Kapha. So this typical feature is found especially in case of an advanced case of anemia, where there is hypoproteinemia leading to anasarca or generalized edema, along with if there is any worm infestations due to the intake of soil, these features will be present in the patient. So this is Mrut Bhakshanajanya Pandu. The same is explained in Ashtanga Hridaya as well. So this sloka is from Charaka and this sloka is from Ashtanga Hridaya. Both imply the same meaning. Next is the complications of Panduroga. Panduroga Chirotpannaha Khari Budona Siddhide. So chronically manifested Pandu is not curable. Kala Pragarshat Shuno. So whenever due to the chronicity, when the patient ends up in edema, full body edema, and Pidani Pashyadi, when the patient starts seeing everything as yellow, Baddhalpavit Sakafam Haridam Yo Adisaryate. If there is constipation or if there is any Adisara where the Mala is Sakafa and Harida, then Dina Sweda Adidigdanga Chardi Murcha Trishardita. The patient becomes Dina, then Sweda, then Chardi Murcha Trishna, then when the due to extreme Raktakshaya, when the patient becomes extremely pallor, then also this is asadhya. Pandudanda nagoyastu, pandu netrasya yo bhavet, pandu sankhada darsicha, pandu rogi vinashyati. So same thing is explained. Then there are other lakshanas like anteshu shunam, parihina madhyam, mlanam, tadandeshu cha madhya shunam. So these explain about differential edema when there is edema in the extremities or if there is edema in the abdomen. Then gudecha, shefasya, the mushkayoscha, so genital and anal areas, edema in these areas. Then when the patient has loss of consciousness, and also if the patient has adisara and jwara, then such patient should not be taken for treatment. So this is asadhya lakshana of Pandu. So this is a patient. This is an image of a patient's hand. The patient had a bladder malignancy, but the patient presented with features of severe anemia. You can see whitish and glistening nails, and the patient, when we checked the HB, the patient had an HB of 4%, 4 gram percentage. So we can see such patients exactly as per the references available in our textbooks. When we come to the modern diseases, any disease that presents with the pallor as a predominant manifestation should be considered under the concept of Pandu. There are some diseases where anemia is the predominant manifestation. So these diseases will come under the purview of Pandu. Also some other diseases like leukemia, whenever there is pancytopenia, the patient can initially present with anemia as a predominant feature and next going on into bleeding manifestation. So in the initial stages, we may diagnose the patient as Pandu because of the persistent anemia, but later on when the patient develops bleeding, we may diagnose it under Rakta-Pitta spectrum. So the Pandu is also a very big spectrum. There are different types of anemias, like the commonest being the iron deficiency anemia. Then there are so many congenital and hereditary causes of anemias. So anemia is a separate section that we can discuss later on, but this is regarding the disease Pandu.